There is really no other design which is so typical for German watches like the German Flieger watch, irrespective whether it's Flieger EUR Type A or Type B. And in this video I'm going to show you 5 German Flieger watches, each for less than 1000 euro. If you like to see interesting watches and you want to support me in my negotiation with the producers and the watch brands, you can subscribe to my channel. The more subscriptions I have, the easier is it for me to negotiate with the producers and the brands to get some watches for a review. You can subscribe down in the commentary section or at the lower right corner at the icon. Hello and welcome to WatchMaxy's Watch Videos. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. Well, actually that's the 4th video of that format, 5 watches with a certain criteria. And please leave a comment in the section below if you like this format, if you want to see more or less, and if you have ideas about what I could show and what I could group together. I got an idea that I might do a video of 5 watches which pick up the design idea of the Rolex Submariner without trying to copy the Submariner, without trying to be the Submariner of German brands. If you like this kind of stuff, leave a comment and tell me if you want to see it or not. During the Second World War, the German aircraft secretary had a request for proposal to make Flieger watches for the navigators and observers on the planes. And there were 5 brands which won this request for proposal and were able to produce those watches. I think there is no other design which is so typical for German wrist watches than Flieger watches, and within that video I show you 5 different brands which produce Flieger watches, partially according to the Baumuster Type A, partially according to the Baumuster Type B, and there are watches with an alternative design but still clearly identifiable as Flieger watches. Let me show you what I mean and the 5 watches. Enjoy them and leave your comments below. As I've sorted my watches by price, the first watch is clearly the winner by price. It's the Aristo 5H68 Ti, and Ti gives the first indication that it is a watch in a titanium case. And given the fact that the price is at 515 euro with a mineral crystal and 565 euro with a sapphire crystal and a built-in ETA 2824-2, it's a really remarkable price tag for this watch. Added that on the watch is printed made in Germany, which means the major part of the value chain has taken place in Germany. It's really remarkable. The watch comes in a 40.8 millimeter diameter case and a thickness of 11.1 millimeter. The lug width is 20 millimeter and the water resistance is similar to 4 out of the 5 watches I'm showing you today, 5 bar equaling 50 meter. Sapphire mineral crystal I just mentioned, and the movement is a Swiss quality movement ETA 2824-2. The bag is a screw down steel case bag and hands and markers are covered with luminous color. It's Super Luminova. What I've seen from the product photo, the markers and the hands seem to have a slightly different tone and color. It may be it's a bad photo. If it is so in reality, and I don't have the watch on the table so I can't evaluate that, I don't like it too much actually. But this could be subject to the photo. What in fact is not subject to the photo and I really dislike is the date is I was about to say damn too close. It is too close to the 3 o'clock hour marker. No date or a little bit more space between the date and the marker. I'd really prefer that one. This is not the way I like it and I would have done it. The case is bead blasted, which is pretty close to the original specs, which means no reflective effects, non-reflective case on board of the planes. So this is pretty well done. The crown looks for me like a standard crown from a Japanese producer, whatever it is. So it's definitely not a typical Flieger watch crown, but given the price tag, I think this is a pain one can stand. What I again do like is the unobtrusive logo. It is not very present, it's not fat, you can read it, but it's not the dominating factor on the face, and I actually do like it a lot. The next watch I show is the Stova Icarus, and that's my value for money winner. The watch comes with a sapphire crystal, and in the basic version it has the ETA 2824 in the basic level with black hands at a price of €740. The watch case has a diameter of 40 mm and a thickness of 10.2 mm. The lug width is 20 mm, and lug to lug the watch measures 48.6 mm. As most of the watches I show you today, it has a water resistance of 5 bar, equaling 50 meters. The watch weighs 70 grams without a strap. The case is brushed by hand. I don't think this is a standard in this price class, so it's remarkable, and you can see it. It's really a high quality case and a high quality brushed pattern on the watch case. The total highlight of the watch is the rhodium plated dial. At the upper right corner under the eye icon I have a link to my full review of the Stova Icarus, and there you can see the dial, how it sparkles in different light conditions. It's really remarkable, and it's a really nice watch and a great dial. For that watch there are a couple of options to improve the watch and adjust it to what you expect. Just as an example, you can replace the black hands by temperature blued hands at an additional price of €50. You can replace the basic ETA 2824 versus a top grade movement for an additional charge of €130, or you can closer move to the original specs and have a hand wound movement for additional €150. What I really do like at the Icarus is it's a watch of one of the 5 historical Flieger watch producers, and it's a pretty fresh and modern interpretation of the Baumuster Type A watch without losing the reference to the original role model and the original specifications. I really do like it. It's made very intelligently and fresh and modern, and still clearly a typical Flieger watch in a modern face. The watch has a pretty good lume. It's visible all night, and if you get up during the night in the darkness, you need the time, this is a watch to go, because it's very high legibility provided with this watch, and I do like it a lot. If you want to see the watch during the night, look at my full review, upper right corner, click the link and you'll see a full review of that watch. The next watch in this short video is the Archimede Pilot 42, and given the price tag of €820, for me it's the value for money winner when it comes to money paid for a watch pretty close to the historical reference and design descriptions. The watch comes in a case with a diameter of 42 mm and a thickness of 9.8 mm. The lug width is 20 mm and the water resistance 5 bar, equaling 50 meter. Lug to lug the watch spans 51 mm, which means it is not a watch for tiny small wrists, and you have to watch out if this watch fits to your wrist if you're interested in it. The front is stuffed with a sapphire crystal, while the back is equipped with a mineral crystal and a screwed down frame around that mineral crystal. The hands are in-house temperature blued, which is close and spot on the historical reference. Oh, my dog is coming. Hey, hey sweetheart. Hey sweetheart. And the crown is a typical Flieger watch crown and completely in line with the historical specifications. There is no logo on the dial, and this is how the original Flieger watches should look like. What I do like is the case is a manufacturing case built in-house at EUR. Given it's a Flieger watch, there is not much space for individual case design, but if you have a closer look, you will see there are some spots which make it unique. During these kind of reviews in this format, I show the pictures from the manufacturers to make the watch comparable and don't make any judgment by a deeper look or more pictures or different angles. So just one picture. If you want to see more about the watch and the case shape, I've done a full review of the bronze version of that watch. It's linked under the eye at the top right corner. Well, this watch is pretty close to the original specifications, except the size. 42mm is definitely not the original specs. These were 50mm or more, so it's a smaller version of the classical Flieger watch Type A design. The fourth watch in my presentation today is the Zinn 556A. The 556A comes at a price tag on a leather strap of €960 and is, for my personal perception, the winner by versatility. You can dress it up, you can dress it down with various straps. It has a water resistance of 200 meters, which makes it a perfect sports watch, and you can go swimming, you can do running, you don't have to care too much about the watch. So it's pretty versatile in terms of situations, straps, whatever you want to do, the watch will stand it. It comes in a case with a diameter of 38.5mm and a thickness of 11mm. Lug width is 20mm and the weight without a strap is 65 grams. As I said, the watch has a water resistance of 20 bar equaling 200 meter and has a sapphire crystal both on the front and on the back. The watch is powered by a Sellita SW200-1 and has a brushed case, which gives a perfect look of the watch according to my understanding. The luminous color is pretty good in terms of durability. It is long lasting. It's not extremely bright, but it's extremely long lasting according to my experience. And that's a point I prefer. It's bright enough for me to read it, and I can read it at 4:30 in the night, so I do like it. For me, it's a better match than a pretty bright watch which can't be read over a long period of time. The 556A, it's not a typical Flieger watch in terms of Baumuster Type A or Type B, but it's pretty close to the design of the instruments on a plain dashboard, so it's easily identifiable as a Flieger watch, and Zinn markets the 556 series as Flieger watches. If you want to have a deeper look into the 556 series, at the top right corner I've linked a playlist. I've done a couple of reviews of various versions of the 556. Maybe pretty interesting for you. If you want to have a look, just click on the eye and see the other reviews I've done about the 556 series. The last watch I'm going to show you in this short review is the Larko Leipzig from the Larko Originals series. The Larko Originals series comprises watches which are pretty close to the original specifications of German Flieger watches. And Larko, as one of the 5 historical Flieger watch producers, has a pretty good reference and is a perfect brand to create these kind of watches. The watch has a current price of €980 on a leather strap and comes in a case with a diameter of 42 mm and a thickness of 12.8 mm. The lug width is 20 mm and lug to lug the watch measures 50 mm. The weight on a leather strap is 91 gram. The markers and the hands are covered with superluminover C3 and the hands are temperature blued. On the front you have a curved and AR coated sapphire crystal, while the case back is a screw down steel case back. The watch is powered by a hand wound movement. Larko calls it Larko 01. Actually the basis of this movement is an ETA 2802.1 in the elaborate version. The case is bead blasted, which is according to the historical specifications. Non-reflective cases have been requested, and bead blasting was the best way to do it. This makes the watch appear a bit darker and a bit more aged. It's the whole original series designed that way. I like it a lot, and it really makes the watch look as a typical historical ancient Flieger watch. Pretty well done. This is a typical Baumuster type B Flieger watch with the short hour hand running around the smaller inner hour circle and a very long minute hand to allow an easy measurement of minute intervals during flight maneuvers. This watch is pretty close to the historical specifications of Flieger watches, and for me it's clearly the winner by historical reference to the Flieger watches. But if you like this kind of videos, leave a subscription, and you can do me a favor if you leave comments in the section below telling me if you like this format, what kind of watches you would like to see in the future in this particular format, 5 watches from German brands with a certain criterion. Just leave a comment if you like it, if you don't like it, if you want to see more or less of this kind of stuff. Happy to read your comments.